What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Let's get right into it. Here to bring you an NBA proposed trade video, something I've been cooking up in the lab a couple days ago now, and finally feel comfortable to put it out. And that's Kevin Huerter from the Sacramento Kings. He goes to the Charlotte Hornets, and then you have Grant Williams from the Charlotte Hornets going back to the Kings. So let's get to it, guys. Let me know in the comment section down below which team says no, or do you believe it's a pretty good trade? So let's get into it. Starting off with Kevin Huerter's side, this is someone I was big on in Atlanta, and then when he moved to Sacramento, he got traded there. I did a video in November, I believe, of 2022. And Kevin Huerter had an amazing start to that season, the 2022-2023 season. That first half of the season, he was fantastic. He didn't finish too strong, but it was an overall better season than what I thought he would have. It was a good transition from Atlanta Kevin Huerter to the new Sacramento Kings Kevin Huerter. And that was his last good year. This past season that just ended, 2023-2024 season, it was terrible. Injuries, bad play, and all that stuff just combined into a terrible season of Kevin Huerter personally, in my opinion. And it seemed like kind of the Kings themselves and Kings fans kind of flipped on them. And I'm not mad at that. The Kings are in a winning situation now. We don't have time for players to be inconsistent. And Harrison Barnes and Kevin Huerter were the two most inconsistent guys on that team last year, in my personal opinion. Harrison Barnes is now finally gone, but I think Kevin Huerter could be gone as well. Has 2 years left, 2 years, $34.8 million left on his contract. And it's seemingly, to me, it feels like that's a bad contract from how it's seeming, but overall, it's a pretty good contract. 2 years left for a pretty good three-point shooter. I think it has some value there, but I think just off the how he played last year, winning teams might not trade for him. So that's why Charlotte comes involved here in a move like this. Charlotte has been trying to find a good two. Well, they had Terry Rozier for a while, paired with LaMelo Ball. Now they have a mixture of Reggie Jackson, Josh Green from the Mavs, and they have Trey Mann, who was from the Thunder, if I'm not mistaken. So um, those three guys are all solid and different players in their own right. They're all pretty good next to LaMelo, or they could be. But I think Kevin Huerter, there's no, it won't hurt to add in another guy with Melo, especially a guy who's a shooter. So I think adding Kevin Huerter won't be bad for that mix. And plus, Reggie's the backup point. Trey could start, or Kevin could, no, whoever was the better training camp, I guess, if this move does happen. But I don't think it'll be too much because Josh Green could play the three if need be, or Huerter could play the three as well. No, wherever. So it could all work. It won't be too convoluted, in my opinion. So I think this move for Charlotte and Kevin Huerter makes the most sense. Pairing a shooter with LaMelo, and I think he'll just be, like I said, either a starter at the two, or he'll be the backup two or three behind Brandon Miller, because the projected lineup should be Melo at the one, the two is open, three Miller, four Bridges, and five Mark Williams. So that's how I see it there. So then you go to flip sides and go to Grant Williams and his journey. Being with the Celtics a couple years ago, not being extended there, going to Dallas just last year. That fit seemed good on paper, but it ended up not working out. He was traded mid-season for P.J. Washington, former Charlotte Hornet. And I think, Grant Williams reminded me of a player I did a video on yesterday, a winning player in a losing situation that contenders should be calling for, and that's Dorian Finney-Smith. I did a video on him just yesterday about his potential options, and the Kings were on that list. And Grant Williams and Finney-Smith will give you the same things. Tough defense, versatility. I think Finney-Smith on defense is more versatile. I think Finney-Smith could guard 2 through 5 if need be, but Grant more of a two. I mean, more of a 3 through 5, 3 through 4. So I think his flexibility is a little bit limited than Dorian Finney-Smith, but it gives you some of the same things: defense and 3-point shooting. That's all you need. It's not the greatest 3-point shooting ever. Somewhere in mid-30s, but he'll give you that flexibility, he'll give you physicality, he'll give you rebounding, and he'll give you some timely 3-point shots when you do need them. So I think, Dorian Finney-Smith or Grant Williams could be an option, a trade option for this Kings team sometime this offseason. Then you look at, his fit in that lineup. He will slide into that, probably the four spot, maybe starting four spot, or maybe three spot. Like I said, it don't matter. Him and Murray, Keegan Murray can both play both. For the four and the three, so it don't really matter. Positionless basketball don't really matter. But I guess if Keegan is the better shooter, he could slide down to the three, but it don't really matter. But a lineup of Fox, DeMar DeRozan at the two, Grant at the three, Murray at the four, it's a bonus at the five. That's not bad. So that gives you some added defensive help for Murray, who Murray is the best defender, especially the best on-ball defender for that Kings team in that starting five, and probably on the whole team. I think Davion Mitchell's gone, if I'm not mistaken. So, giving him some help on the perimeter, or just in general post-perimeter play, as far as defensive goes, adding Grant or even adding Dorian Smith, that makes sense to me. Having Monk off the bench still at that 6-man spot is great. So I think to me that's a win-win for both situations. LaMelo gets his shooter, someone to kind of give you a Terry Rozier type of feel, kind of not the same player, but just a shooter, someone who's aggressive, who's gonna shoot. And LaMelo's gonna in that system. I know they changed coach again. I don't know who their coach is now, but I think Clifford is gone, if I'm not mistaken. But if not, they're gonna shoot it. They're not setting plays that often. They're not gonna be doing all that fancy stuff. Get the ball in Melo hands, move around, find a spot. He's gonna find you. So, but you do have to work around Miles Bridges getting shots, Brandon Miller getting shot. But like I said, Kevin Huerter's been used to that now. He's been with Trey forever. Now he's with De'Aaron Fox and these guys and Monk. So, and he was getting his chances. And like I said, 2022 season, that was really his best year. In 2023, just injuries. I think he hurt his shoulder, so everything just culminated into being just a rough year for him last year. And I think the outlook on him is kind of different from fans. It was at first he was a plus guy. Now I think he's a super negative, and the contract is kind of tough to add. But I think it's fine. 2 years, 34 million for a shooter. I'm not mad at that. So now I don't think it'll be a straight up trade. You can find pieces to add on to it. Picks or players don't really matter in my opinion. I know probably the most likely player to be involved from the Hornets side, probably Cody Martin. The twin. Cody, forgot the other twin name, but the other twin went to the Sixers. Cody and something. I forgot his name now. But I think he'll be involved. Same as Huerter, had a rough 2023 season, injury. He's been hurt for a while now, off and on, little nagging injuries here. So Martin can go, bring some added depth to that Kings guard spot. Grant Williams comes with him. He'll be the key piece in this trade. I think that makes sense. And then you go with the Hornets. What would they receive? Kevin Huerter and maybe a pick, or Kevin Huerter, maybe Jalen McDaniels. That makes sense. I think they just got McDaniels from somewhere. I forgot where this offseason, or just signed him or something. But whatever. They just got McDaniels, not mistaken. The Kings did, and I think that he's going to be shipped off with Huerter just to make the money work. Him and Martin makes the money work there. Maybe the Hornets bring in a pick as well. I don't think they will need to, but maybe just to sweeten the deal up because the Hornets will get a pick because Grant they are giving up the best player in the situation as far as a contender. When the contender comes calling, you get the max that you can get. So if the Hornets can get a 2nd-round pick or 2 2nd-round picks, I'm not mad at it. So they have the prospect or the player that's wanted the most out of the situation, and I think and same as I said yesterday in the Dorian Finney-Smith video, most teams who have a surplus of offense will need an influx of defense. And that's what this is here. You're trading Kevin Huerter, an offensive weapon, for a defensive guy in Grant Williams. And vice versa. The Hornets they don't have a surplus of defense, but they really prefer offense, and their offense is out, and they need more offense and need more shooting at that guard spot. So they're gonna bring in Huerter at my proposed trade, and that makes sense to me. So that's how I see it happening. Let me know in the comment section down below how you feel about it. Am I off? Am I on to something? Let me know. Give me some other proposed trades you might like involving these two guys, Huerter and Grant Williams. More videos to come soon, so stay tuned, lock in, subscribe if you want to. Follow my other socials at Stats Free Sports everywhere: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, um, what X, Threads, all at Stats Free Sports, guys. So that's it for the video. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.